what you can hear in the background is a little track I've been working on, and it extensively makes use of the call and response sequencing technique that we talked about in another video, in a previous video, and I thought I'd just share what's going on here, how I do everything. So yeah, let me just show you what's going on, right? A quick recap on call and response. That is when you have one sound, your main player, which is then doing its thing, and then you have other sounds coming in at different times, and this force back and forth sequencing and structure almost is like they are talking, and this makes even the simplest sounds super interesting. So if you're just starting out with the track and you don't have much going on, even if you bring in a few elements and have them interact in this call and response fashion, it makes every pattern immediately interesting. I've been doing this with this track that I started some time ago, and to just show you what's going on, I will go over each track. And the thing that is a bit special here is I do the call and response, and you can see it here on the automation. I do it using different send effects, and we will go over each chain. So this video will be a combination of a little sound design tutorial and of course the call and response tutorial. So let's dive in. Okay, let me give you a quick overview on what we have here in Studio One. We have a kick drum, a simple sub bass, a hi-hat which sounds like it has a delay on it, but it actually is just a sample which has some delay on it, so figured that worked. Then we have this noise thing going on here, which is static right now, but if you watch the gates tutorial, I make use of it here. So we have this gate on the noise channel which is reacting to the hi-hat. Very simple. And I think this track is actually empty, yes, and I think I don't even use this in the final version. So where it gets interesting obviously is with the melodic stuff, and I have this deep tone, I called this track, which is this a bit more mellow effect thing, and I basically just use the effects rack in from Sound Toys, and we have a filter, as you can see here, a bandpass filter with a ramp up, so it always rises and you can already listen to it in the background. And then after 2 bars it starts from the beginning. Microshift is just a chorusy thing, so that would be the dry signal. That would be the dry signal, sorry. And with the effects rack we get some phasing, some delay, just to make it washed out, some EQ, and Devil Lock is basically a thing that makes everything loud and a bit crunchy. So, and after that I just use this low pass filter to tame, to bring the sound even more into the background. And this comp here, I actually don't use it because I felt the dynamics were okay and it didn't need to be crunched even more. Alright, so that's it for the basics. Now let's talk about the main sound, which is actually 2 sounds. So let me turn down everything that we have going on so we can listen to the clean signal first. Alright, so that's the main sound. doesn't sound like much, right? So the original sound is actually just the Virus TI step sent through the Rubberneck analog delay, and it sounds like too many samples, and I think I have it here. TI Chords, probably. Yeah, there it is. So that's the original sound. That's the original sound. And I pitched it up, shortened it, and the sequencing is super easy. There's just one step where usually a clap or a snare or a rim shot would be, but I figured it sounded great as is. And what you can see here is already a little response. So this step is our call, and this sound, similar sample from, but an octave lower, is my response. And even that sounds okay. But I thought, why stop there? Why not try something fun? So first of all, I've sent the original tone through this filter, which is a high pass filter, and I hope you can see it. It's moving through an LFO at just a random rate. So it's constantly moving, changing. It's not synced to the song tempo. So it is always somewhere in doing. And you can hear it does two things. It adds movement and cleans up the low end. Then I have this filter, which I will use during when I finish the whole arrangement. I will use this filter to bring the sound in and out. Now where things get really interesting, and now we're getting to the point that I actually want to get to in this tutorial, is this automation here. And this automation is basically 4 different, and you can see them here in black, 4 different send effects. And we should just have a listen so you get a feel for what's going on. So the first one is coming in a moment. Here comes the second. The third. And then the last one. Which is actually my favorite. So what's going on here? I use this very simple sequencing of this chord step, but make it interesting by sending it, let's zoom in real quick, and you can see it here. So on the last hit, on the count of 4, I bring in this effect, and every 4 bars, the end is coming in with something that's interesting. So let's check out the different effects here, shall we? So let's put them a loop here. And what's happening here is we have this reverb followed by a delay and the budget version of a sidechaining effect. This is just a tremolo, which gives this ramping sound effect, this ducking. Let's can make it even faster. And you could automate even that and add in more movement and variations throughout the whole track. I probably might actually do this. So that's the first one. The second response is a little bit different. Let's have a listen. Which, it sounds a bit weird and ghosty. And we have this super fast flanger at 100% wet. Oh, it doesn't work like that. I was hoping to just solo the effect. So our short snippet step goes into the flanger, it gets all washed out, then into another reverb, which has some EQ settings here to get rid of some mud here with the EQ and to add a little accent here on this top range. A delay which has almost no feedback. And we could automate that too. And this phaser is even off because I felt it was already enough movement. Now the last, no, not the last one, the third one goes like this. So Crystalizer is a granular echo synthesizer, and you can get those shimmery effects with it. You can do pitch shifting. Let me show you real quick. But I felt it was a bit too much sound for my taste. Then to add some movement, a notch filter. Also just doing here random LFO thing. Again, only for movement. Micro shift is like a phaser, so this would be clean. I felt, well, it should sound a bit more washed out. Last but not least, another filter to tame the very highs a little bit. So I'm a big fan of using filters for sound design and sculpting, because then I don't fixate on any numbers I read in an EQ, and I just go by feel. I just twist and turn the knobs until I have something that I'm happy with. Very straightforward, nothing too fancy really. Alright, so the last one is, as I mentioned, my favorite, because it reminds me of those old dubby songs with a crunchy delay. And what's going on here is we have this echo boy. It's a bit too much sound at the moment because it's repeating so much, and because of the high feedback, it's building up a bit fast. So echo boy, delay, dotted eighth, nothing too fancy, some saturation within the plugin to crunch up the repeats, but I felt they weren't crunchy enough, so I added this screamer. So check out the difference. So a bit more crunch on the high end. Afterwards, filter freak with 2 frequency bands, and as you can see from the curve, this looks a bit more interesting. Just wanted to shape the sound even more. Cleaning up the low end a little bit, cleaning up the high end a little bit, and with the resonance you can accentuate some of the frequencies, and I felt that separated the original tone from the delay repeats quite well. And because everything is mono in this channel, I added with panning effect just to have the sound move from left to right and get some stereo back. And then all I did was automate the send effects here to get this very interesting. Oh, and at the end everything is going into this channel. It again has this devil lock. It's like a limiter basically, with a bit more crush and crunch to it. Just because I felt some of the effects had a bit of an intense build up, and I just wanted to tame the peaks and levels and get everything a bit closer. Tame the dynamics here. And that's it basically. So we have this super simple step, this deep tone for the lower registers. A couple octaves above that we have the step, where usually would be a clap or a hi-hat, a clap or a snare. Then we have the effects. And in this case, not very complicated. And all I do is have one of these send effect chains come in every 4 bars. And if you just want to do 3 effects, you could do something like 1, 2, 3, 2, and then start over with 1. That would make a very beautiful sound. And yeah, don't make it too hard on yourself. Maybe just start with one thing and add another one. I mean, I didn't come up with the whole chain at once. I was building onto it. So first I had just this pattern, and then I felt, man, maybe I need to spice up the track every now and then. Then I added this effect chain with the reverb and the delay. And after listening to it a couple of times, I felt, man, maybe I should add another one. And then it ultimately became 4, and I think that's pretty much everything I need for this track. So let me know how you like it. Let me know how you like the track. If you have any further questions, drop them down in the comments below. I'm always happy to share more of the ingredients to this, hopefully not more secret sauce. So if you want to learn how to add texture that's reactive to your sound, same way as I did with the noise and the hi-hat, watch the next video and you learn everything you need to know on how to use gate effects to shape your sounds and make it reactive to audio that you send in.